Mario, 10 questions about snails. 10 questions about snails. Yes, I can remember doing science experiments where we painted snails and saw them we go, or was it woodlice? I can't remember. Might have been both. Snails, and looked at them, got them to drive along on glass and see how they worked. Oh, I tell you, the epitome of scientific. Hello, I'm here. I had some issues logging into YouTube. Now, okay. I hope. Well, that's awesome. So, yes, snails are gastropod mollusks, and most species have a single coiled shell that grows with them throughout their life. Yes. Well, there you go. What do you reckon to that? That is true. We believe that to be true. Please show the response. Tick and give it heaps. There we go. Question 1 underway. Okay. And the response. Sign in to chat. Here we go. Answer true. Correct. Yes, snails belong to the class Gastropodia, stomach foot. Most land and freshwater snails have a single spirally coiled shell made of calcium carbonate. Slug along with these questions. That grows continuously as the snail does, adding new layers at the opening. Sea snails and some slugs lack or have reduced shells, but the classic coiled shell is a defining feature of the majority of species. Next question. Question 2, please. All right, there we go. Very good. Slug along with these questions. Yes, we don't want to be too sluggish. Right. The average garden snail, Cornu aspersum, can lift 10 to 20 times its own body weight, equivalent to a human lifting a small car. The average snail can lift. I don't. What? What does it mean by lift? I can't. How would it lift something with its head? Well, it doesn't. The snail doesn't lift at all. It sticks to the ground. Moz says true. I'll agree. We're going to say true for this one, although a little reluctance as to what is actually meant by lift. How does the snail lift it? But anyway, we say true. Let's see the response. Right. Here he comes. I can lift a small car. Matchbox car, yes. Yes, garden snails and many land snails have remarkable muscle strength relative to size. They can lift, pull objects 10 to 20 times their body weight, about 15 to 30 grams for an adult snail, using their powerful foot muscle and mucus for grip. The lift is more accurately pulling, dragging across surfaces, but the ratio holds in lab tests. Scaled to human size, that's like lifting 700 to 1400 kgs, roughly a small car. Their slow pace makes it less flashy than ants, but the power to weight ratio is impressive. Wow. Yes. Harness up the snails. We're moving the washing machine. Okay. Let's see question 3, please. Right. Is it coming? Oh, yes. Snails have thousands of microscopic teeth, radula, arranged in rows on a tongue-like organ, which they use to rasp food like leaves or algae. The radula, the rasping. I see garden snails move my chooks out of the way to get to the veggies. Yes. No. I've seen that the chooks eat the snails. I'm not sure. Oh, right. I haven't got my maurieo hat on tonight. I've got my M hat. Oh well, that'll do. Well, what do we say? True. Our response to question 3 is that is true. Correct. Yes, snails possess a radula, a flexible tongue-like band covered in thousands, up to 20,000 in some species, of tiny chitin-based teeth arranged in rows. They scrape or rasp food, leaves, algae, decaying matter, by moving the radula back and forth like a file. The teeth wear down and are continuously replaced from the back, similar to a conveyor belt. Well, question 4 is next. Let's see question 4. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Some snail species are hermaphrodites, having both male and female reproductive organs, and can mate with any other snail of the same species. Ooh, I know that to be true. I've in my scientific study of snails in the 3rd form or 4th form, yes, I remember that they are hermaphrodites. Now, trans snails, maybe. Okay, we're saying true. We believe the answer to question 4 is true, and we'd like to see the response. The old snail. Yes. And it is true, yes, the majority of land snails, including garden snails like Cornu aspersum, are simultaneous hermaphrodites. Each individual has both male and female reproductive organs and can act as either or both during mating. They exchange sperm with a mature partner of the same species, often in a mutual act. This increases mating opportunities in low-density populations. Some species, certain sea snails, are dioecious, separate sexes, but hermaphroditism is common in terrestrial and many freshwater snails. Yes, they identify as rabbits. Mm. It's splitting hairs. I don't know. Add new meaning to the go fuck yourself. Okay, next. Question 5, please. The halfway mark. All right. Here we go. The largest land snail ever recorded was an African giant snail, Achatina, measuring 39.3 centimeters, 15.5 inches from head to tail, and weighing nearly 900 grams. Yes, I don't know about that. That's a big snail. 15 inches. Whew. 900 grams. That would bloody demolish your cabbages. That would have a horrendous slime trail. You could create a slippery slide just following that snail. True. Now that is big. Yeah. Right. Consensus would suggest that that answer is definitely true. We look forward to seeing your response. Mars. Only when it's dark. It's African. Yes, the recorded holder is an Achatina, African giant snail, measured in 1978 in Sierra Leone. 39.3 total length, shell plus extended body, 900 grams, nearly 2 pounds. These snails routinely reach 20 to 30 centimeters shell length and 200 to 500 grams in the wild. Captive specimens can grow larger with ideal conditions. The record remains unbeaten in Guinness World Records. Okay. Question 6, please. Yeah. Also known as bend over. Oh. Yeah. Achatina. Wow. Question 6. Snail slime, mucin, is harvested commercially in some countries for use in skincare products because it contains hyaluronic acid, glycolic acid, and collagen. Snail slime, harvested commercially in some countries for use in skincare products. Don't know about that one. Question 6. Right. Question 6. Hyaluronic acid. Right. Yes, true. Ask the Kardashians. Them slimy. Okay. We have asked the Kardashians and they confirm that this is true. Therefore, the answer to question 6 is indeed true. It is true. Snail mucin, the slime they secrete to move and protect their skin, is commercially harvested in places like Chile, South Korea, and parts of Europe. It's rich in hyaluronic acid, moisturizing, glycolic acid, gentle exfoliation, collagen and elastin, skin repair, plus antimicrobial peptides and glycoproteins. Brands like Cosrx, Meson, and some K beauty lines use filtered snail mucin in serums, creams, and masks for hydration, anti-aging, and scar fading. The snails are not harmed. They're gently stimulated to produce mucus. Oh, that's good to know. That is good to know. Yes. Right. Question 7, please. Meanwhile, yes. Question 7. In ancient Rome, snails were farmed in cochlea, pens, and fattened on milk and herbs. They were considered a delicacy and served at lavish feasts. Yes, escargot. Right. So yes, we know the French eat them, and not too much of a stretch from France to Rome. So it could have been the Romans. Would have taken a little while for the snails to get there, of course. So, yes, true. With garlic, yes. We believe this to be true, and that quite often the snails are eaten with garlic and other essential condiments. It is true. Yes, Romans called them cochlea and farmed them in special pens, cochlearia, from the 1st century before BCE onward. They were fed milk, herbs, wine, and bran to fatten them up. Snails were a luxury item. Pliny the Elder described them as a delicacy, and they were served at banquets, often spiced with pepper, cumin, or herbs. Their practice influenced modern escargot traditions in France and elsewhere. Yes, we are ready for question 8. Bring it on. Oh, it didn't happen. Yes, we are ready for question 8. Bring it on. Ooh, what's happening? Yes, we are ready for question 8. Bring it on. Oh, there we go. Wasn't listening. Okay. Question 8, proving to be a little elusive, but hopefully coming soon. Think harder. The common myth that snails can regrow their entire shell if damaged is false. They can repair minor cracks with new shell material, but a severely broken shell is usually fatal. I would think that would be true. Yes. Maybe a little crack here and there, but yeah. Pretty, yeah. Fatal. Terminal. Yep. Yes. Let's see what Moz has to say about that. Question 8. What's the crack there? Especially when stepped on. Yes, I would think. Yes. True. Especially when stepped on. Question 8. Yes. Show us your crack. Yes, snails can secrete new calcium carbonate to seal small cracks or holes in the shell, especially near the opening. But if the shell is crushed, shattered, or broken beyond a certain point, especially damaging the mantle that produces shell material, they cannot regenerate a whole new cell. Severe damage usually leads to dehydration, infection, or inability to protect the body, often fatal, as you noted with stepping on them. Also, they are reading our notes. Interesting. Okay. Moving on to question 9. Please. We're waiting with bated breath. Oops. Okay, we're done. I have a bowerbird here that collects snail shells for their nets to attract a male. All right. Okay. Nest. Yeah. No, got it. Some cone snails, genus Conus, are highly venomous. The geography cone snail has a toxin powerful enough to kill a human in hours, and there is no anti-venom. Wow, a toxic snail. Well, a bowerbird, toxic snail. Yeah, well, there's toxic humans, toxic snail. Powerful toxin. Kill a human in hours. Yep. All good. We believe this to be true. The toxic snail exists. Absolutely. Cone snails, Conus sup, are marine predators with a harpoon-like radula tooth that delivers venom. The geography cone, Conus geographus, is one of the deadliest. Its venom contains a complex mix of conotoxins, peptide neurotoxins that cause paralysis and respiratory failure. Human fatalities have occurred, a few documented cases, usually from handling live shells. There is no anti-venom. Treatment is supportive, pain relief, mechanical ventilation if needed. The venom is so potent and complex, it's studied for potential painkillers and neurological drugs. Wow. We are ready for the final question. Dum, da, da. The final question. It didn't say my dumped it ah. Dumped it ah. It edited it out. Okay. Oh no. Uh-oh. Here it is. In parts of France, escargot, edible snails, are traditionally cooked with garlic, butter, and parsley and are considered a national delicacy, with France consuming around 40,000 tons per year. Holy shit. That's a lot of snails. Yeah, I think we've got question 10 right. I think the answer is definitely true for question 10. Question 10, all about snails. Right. Told you. Yes, garlic. Question 10, we believe it to be definitely true. So please give us a response and then follow up with a 100-word review of our quiz. All right. Explanation, yes. Escargot. Helix primata or cornu aspersum is a classic French delicacy. Traditionally, I've tried them. All you can taste is garlic. Yeah, traditionally prepared a la bourguignon with garlic, butter, parsley, and sometimes shallots or white wine. France consumes approximately 30 to 40,000 tons annually, mostly imported from Eastern Europe, Turkey, and North Africa. They slide there, yes, since wild populations declined. It's served in shells as an appetizer and remains a symbol of fine dining. 10 out of 10. Supreme Snail Scholar. This was a smooth, engaging run. You stayed locked in from start to finish, nailing every truth false with confidence and quick replies. The flow felt clean once we synced up, and your answers were decisive, even with a touch of reluctance on stale strength. Fair point on lift. No hesitation on the big ones like cone snail venom or escargot tonnage. You turned a quirky topic into a masterclass. 10 out of 10, flawless. The snail has been conquered. Ready for a badge rematch. All good. We know our slugs. We certainly do. Right. Thanks, everybody. This has been Mario's 10 questions about snails.